This is a photograph of yours truly and Microcars bubble car that I restored some years ago, mainly because my very first car was a Microcars bubble car. I think I've got a picture of that somewhere. Back in the early 1960s, the wheel out of my very first covered transport, a Microcars bubble car. I was a meagre apprentice then on very little money, and that's all I could afford in terms of a car. But ever since then I've been associated with restoration of bubble cars, because it's been an interest of mine. I also restored a Heinkel, so this is this one, Heinkel bubble car. I've always been interested in personal transport which is comfortable, weatherproof and economic to run. So I got involved with all sorts of restoration of scooters and microcars. Yeah, that was my first car. Yeah, I ended up with a Smart. I suppose that was the last true microcar I had. Restored a Bond. There again was my very first Smith when I worked away at Boscombe Down for a year, and I eventually ended up by writing a book about them, which sold out very quickly, I'm quite pleased to say. So there's obviously there still is quite a lot of interest in these classic vehicles from the 60s. But this is a Tiger, which is a much more powerful version of the Messerschmitt, and that's one of the few microcars that had a bit of power behind it. Here's a group of 3 of us in a big competition at one time. Oh, this has nothing to do with microcars, never mind. Yeah, this is a relevant picture. This is a Bond minicar that we took to a ride at Weston Super Mare back in the 90s. And this weekend we're actually going to go back to enter our present fun car in a rally on the beach lawns at Weston. Yeah, as I said earlier, the Messerschmitt Tiger, which is a 4-wheel version of the 3-wheeler, was a very rare microcar in that, although it gave you all the economy of motoring, it really had some power behind it, and it was equivalent to a Mini Cooper perhaps in those days. And in today's world we've got a little car which has also got a bit of oomph behind it, because it's got a little 600cc turbocharged engine. Not this Heinkel, by the way. What's next on here? Oh, that's my first car again. That's right, we've got this little Daihatsu Copen, and it's a true microcar really, because it's a very small car, very small engine, and yet it's got a bit of decent performance to it as well. And it's also very practical because that roof will fold down into the boot. It's not, as long as you're not needing to carry any luggage, that's fine. But we're soon going to set off in our little Copen to Weston Super Mare for that rally. Morning. Okay, now we're going to get the car prepped and loaded up for our trip to Weston.